Okay, everybody, and welcome back to part 6 of my DW Hobby Astro Junior build. We got quite a bit done since the last time we were together, so let me just take a second to catch you up a little bit, and then I'll show you where we're going to go from there. I'll be right back. Okay, so we got quite a bit done offline here over the past week or so. Got the top sheeting all finished off on the rear, and got the bottom sheeting on. Got the cockpit sheeting on. There was a little issue here where the sheeting didn't wrap around far enough, so I had to fill in that little piece there. I still need to sand it, and of course I have to fill in a little piece there, but I'll do that here in a bit. And I put a floor in as far down as I could above the servo bottoms, because I might want to mount a camera, so I want to have a nice firm place to put that there. And got the motor in, got the shaft turned around, looking good. Blind nuts are in. Yes, I did put the blind nuts in backwards because I didn't really feel like cutting into this plywood. No need to do that, so I put them in backwards, and then I'll put a little bit of epoxy on them to hold them in place when the motor's out. And I will have to put a couple of washers in the side here to give it a little bit of right thrust. Might need some down thrust, but I always do that after I've made in the airplane to see exactly what it needs. I can always trim it out for the first flights, but I'll add some down thrust if I need to later. So now, be working on the front here. Got some pieces that have to go in here, both sides, and of course, the top pieces that make it curved will be going in. We're going to do that now. And also on the bottom front, we have to put the sheeting in. I think this front section here, whoops, excuse me for a second, I'm going to have a hatch here. I'm going to put a door in here because I think the ESC is going to go underneath here, so I'll need a way to get to it. Like I said, I wanted to leave as much room as I could to move the battery around on front. So if I put the ESC underneath right here, that gives me just the extra ability to move that around a bit. So that's what we're going to be doing now. I'm going to be working on the front here, get all this done so that I can get it shaped and sanded. And then we will see where we get from there. I'll be right back. Okay, and we are back again. I got all the pieces assembled onto the nose here. Still have to sand it, but it's looking pretty good. I also went ahead and had taken the motor out and added a couple of washers on the left side here to give it a little bit of right thrust. So that's taken care of. And like as I said, when I'm doing the maiden, I'll be able to tell if I need a little bit more, or maybe if I need a little bit of down thrust. I'll trim that out for the flight, but then I'll come back to the shop and add the right or down thrust with more washers. But now I'm going to be working on the canopy here. As I mentioned on the last video, the battery's a little tall, so I'm going to have to take a little bit of this material out of here, and then I'll have to trim it up just a little bit shorter here to get it to fit down flat. But that's not going to be an issue. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go into the box and find all the parts I need to get this assembled, and we'll get started on it and see what we can get done. And I'll be right back. Okay, so I wanted to take a few minutes out here to thank all my subscribers, new and old. I really appreciate your interest in my channel, and I hope you'll share it with your friends if you know anybody that might be interested. And thank you to subscriber number 300 last week. You were anonymous, so I don't know who you are, but I really appreciate it. And again, please hit the like and comment button and subscribe, and pass it on to all your friends, because I'd really like to meet everybody and see how far we can take this thing. So yeah, I really appreciate it, and thank you very much. Okay, we're back again. Got the hatch done. Just need to put the magnets in here. Have to see if I have any that size, or maybe use a different magnet that I have. But yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm liking the way that is so far. Still need to sand it, but that's all coming up. Okay, so the last major thing that we need to do here is build a hatch for this area here. I believe DW Hobby simply wanted you to glue on some sheeting here, but I wanted to be able to use that space. Obviously, I have the ESC mounted in there. So I think what I'm going to do is make just one big hatch to go here. I'll put some blocks in for some mounting screw support, probably 6 of them. We'll see how it goes. It doesn't matter if I have to use 6 screws or 8. Hopefully I'll never have to get in here, but it's nice to be able to, if we have to do maintenance on the ESC, of course, maybe add some weight. We can put it under here. It's a lot of usable space in there. So I'm going to go to my supplies and see what I got. Some hardwood for mounting blocks. See what I got to make a door with, a hatch. And we'll see what we can come up with. And I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and put in a couple blocks here for some mounting screws. Probably overdid it, but that's what I do. I tend to overbuild things. And I have a 1 mil piece of ply here. Hopefully that's going to work. It'll already bend. I know that's not a problem, but we'll see how it works out when we get the holes drilled and the screws in. But that's going to be part of the final assembly, because I do have some sanding I have to do up here to get that flattened out so that the hatch will set nicely. I'll get that sanded. I left the hatch a little wide and a little long, so I can tweak that in with the sanding block after I get it mounted, and that'll be it. And then before I cover everything, I'm gonna do a mock-up and check for CG to see where we're at, and if I can afford to, I'm going to cover in this here, give this more of a finished look in the front, rather than just having a motor hanging out the front there. I'm gonna use some thin balsa and cover that up, make it look more finished. But like I said, I'll see how the CG goes before I do that. I've already added a little bit of weight here, so we'll have to see. So yeah, looking pretty good. So yeah, that's going to bring us to the end of another video. I know it was a little shorter today, but there's really not much left to show you building wise. Basically, I have to sand, put some sealer on there, sand it again, cover it, do a final assembly, and check the CG, and she's done, ready for a maiden flight. So we're looking at one more video for it to be all finished. Hopefully in the next week or so, I'll get that out to you. But in the meantime, take care, everybody. And don't forget, please like, comment, and subscribe, and share with all your friends. I'd really appreciate that a lot. I really would. So until next time, everybody, I hope you had a great weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.